Hello, everybody, and welcome to Uproot Reddit. Now, everyone should be aware of the rules of entering a business establishment during the pandemic. Wear a mask, don't aimlessly touch things without sanitizing your hands, and, most importantly of all, if a business is not open yet, don't just walk in and assume they'll open for you. I mean, at this point, common courtesy should be practiced on a regular basis. But unfortunately, that's not always the case. It seems like more and more stories of people being obstinate to the new mask rules are rising daily. But one story stands out, which we're going to hear about today. Reddit user Is Not Available was busy filling out paperwork to solidify their first day when this happened. Entitled Mom forces herself into a candy store that isn't opened. So I got a call back yesterday from candy store that I applied to a few months ago. My now boss wanted me to come in today for orientation, paperwork and a tour. Keep in mind, this candy store is a new location and doesn't open until Thursday. Also, I'm in the US, so masks are still required in public spaces and businesses. In addition, where I live, customers aren't allowed to touch any unpackaged food. So things like those buffet things in shops aren't allowed to be open yet. Here are the cast of characters, quote, Entitled Mom, a less powerful demon. Entitled Kid, a demon spawn. WF is cool new work friend. And then B is Boss, who is a devout Christian. So I was in the back of the store filling out paperwork, and worker friend and the boss were talking about something in the office. The boss had asked me that if anyone came into the store to just let them know we weren't open until Thursday. So I started filling out my forms, and occasionally people would walk in and I would politely tell them that we weren't open until Thursday, and they would leave. Now, enter Entitled Mom and Entitled Kid. Entitled Kid was your typical entitled 8-year-old, but Entitled Mom didn't look like a Karen. Now, just a point that will be relevant later on, neither of them were wearing masks. I walked up to them, staying 6 feet away and having my mask on. Hey, ma'am, I'm sorry, but we aren't open yet. It's almost the end of the day. Yeah, but... Ooh, can I get some of those? Mom, can I? Sure, just ask this nice young man. Ma'am, we aren't open yet. Yeah, right, you just don't want to work. Ooh, wait, can I get some of those too? I'm sorry, but we aren't open yet. We'll be open on... what was that? I couldn't hear you. I'm sorry, but we aren't open yet. We will... Sorry, still couldn't hear you. Would you mind taking off your mask? Sorry, I'm legally not allowed to. Speaking of, would you and your son mind putting on a mask? Fine. No other business has forced us to. She grabbed out cloth masks and gave one to her son and put the other one on herself. Both wore them incorrectly, mind you, with their noses hanging out. Now will you serve us because we put on the stupid masks? I'm sorry, but no. Man, we put on the mask, now serve us! My boss apparently heard this and came on out. Oh, what seems to be the matter? And who said the Lord's name? Are you the manager? Yes. Your worker here is being lazy and won't serve me and my son, even so far as attempting to kick us out of the store. Ma'am, we aren't open yet. The store doesn't open until Thursday. I want my candy now. To Entitled Kid. One moment, sweetie. Well, there was no obvious signs. Yeah, I'm guessing there probably was a big fat sign saying that they didn't open until Thursday, but hey, Entitled Mom didn't recognize it, so there's her excuse, which is lame. My boss pointed to the giant words that said, Grand Opening July 2nd. And my point in case. Well, your employee was being rude to us. Really, how so? He came up to us and came within 6 feet of us when we weren't wearing masks. Well, you should be wearing a mask when entering a business. Now, I was told by my doctor that I'm not supposed to wear a mask. In fact, let me show you. I have an ID card. The boss sighed and looked at the card. I know these are fake. No, it's not. You forgot to fill in your birthday and reason. Ugh, whatever, just let me get my kids some candy. For the last time, we are not open. Now please leave. Entitled Kid slipped under the ribbon and started going around and grabbing candy with his bare hands. My worker friend sees this and tries to stop the kid from tearing up the store. What in the world? I hope your business fails. Entitled Kid, come on, let's go. Are you crazy? Your son just ruined half of my merchandise. Worker friend, call the police. Why are you calling the cops? I've done nothing wrong. Ma'am, your son just ruined my merchandise. How? We're in the middle of a health crisis. We can't just have people reaching into candy containers with their hands that are covered in dirt and bacteria. Well, you should have just let him get his candy, because then we would have paid and been out of here by now. For the last time, we aren't open for business yet. Whatever. She then pulled down her mask and coughed in my boss's face. Her son did the same thing, but instead spat on me. She grabbed her kid, who had grabbed as much candy as he could fit in a bag he found, then dashed out of the store and were gone by the time the police arrived. Now, this all happened on a day when I was just supposed to fill out forms and take a tour of the facility. And here's the original title for this post, quote, "Lady refuses to leave a candy store that hasn't even opened its doors to the public. She coughed in my boss's face before her son spat at me and after he stole candy with his bare hands, contaminating any of the candy in the same container." Wow. Just wow. Now, here's an update from Is Not Available. Quote, "Now, I just want to clarify a few things. Number one, I don't know why my boss left the door unlocked. Number two, we gave the footage from the camera to the police. Number three, I haven't heard whether or not she and her son were caught yet. Number four, the candy was out because they were getting the store ready to open for Thursday. And last but not least, number five, the kid reached his hand into the bucket of the dispensers on our wall of candy. It's essentially just a gravity-fed hopper with a bucket on the bottom. You're supposed to grab the scoop to dispense candy. He lifted the flap and reached in to grab the candy though. As they say, like mother, like son. Seriously, kids repeat whatever adults do. So let's be better role models so that when kids grow up, they'll practice common courtesy rather than acting like a toddler till they grow gray hairs. Oh, and speaking of old toddlers, mind you, have your parents ever kicked you and your fiance out for not eating their cooking? No? Just Reddit user DRB097? Okay, well, this is something that actually happened, be it out of pent-up frustration or if the parents' buttons were pushed for the last time. Especially in today's post, my mother kicked me and my fiance out of their house because I brought her McDonald's. Yesterday, I and my fiance were in North Carolina to visit my parents and spend time with them and celebrate my fiance's birthday. Now, everything was going okay Saturday and Sunday, but stuff really started going down on Monday. My fiance had to work a 5 to 2 shift on what would be today, and we were trying to see if we should leave at 4 or wait until after dinner. I said to wait until after dinner, but my parents never asked us what we would like or if she would like what they were making. They made sausage and shrimp skewers. My fiance doesn't much care for seafood, and my parents already know that because I told them. My fiance asks me if I could get some food for her and get gas for the car. Now, she said she didn't like what they made and she didn't want to take food from me, given that my parents didn't make enough for everyone. So I went and got gas in the food and brought it back. My dad saw the bag and straight up told us to get out of his house and that we are liars. They got mad that we were texting under the table when in reality, we were texting different friends at the time. My mom went to see what happened and instantly went to speak to my dad. Then confronted us saying that we're liars and sneaky and don't appreciate what they do for us, and told me the reason why I'm so skinny is because my fiance eats all the food. They've done next to nothing for us. Me and my fiance have been together for nearly 2 years, and they've never taken any interest to get to know her or figure out what type of foods she likes, so that way we can all eat the same thing together. Now, we left, and about an hour into the drive, my mother posts a long rant saying that we should see things from their side, that we're both liars and omit facts, and that we should push back our wedding in September because it's an inconvenience to them. I contemplated revoking their invite, but my fiance said we should go ahead with what the plan is and show them how happy we are at our wedding as the ultimate screw you to them. Though I'm still considering paying off my debts to them and then cutting them out of our lives. Now here's an edit from DRB097, quote, "Clarified that my parents accused me of lying bit and some grammar and spelling." Well, there you have it. 2 stories, 2 adult toddlers, 1 giant mess. And unfortunately, that's all for today. We'll be back for more uncommon sense stories right here on Uproot Reddit. Now remember everybody, stay healthy and wash your hands, and we'll see you next time.